Find out where we're going to be for the holidays, for Christmas holiday, in this next episode of Digest This.
Welcome to Digest This, the show that helps you revolutionize your digestive health. Here are your hosts, Dr. Liz Cruz and Tina Nunziato.
Hello and welcome to Digest This. I'm Dr. Liz Cruz and I've got Tina Nunziato sitting right here by my side. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Digest This. If you are a first-time listener, we welcome you. And if you're one of our regular listeners, we thank you for always being on this journey with us and for supporting us by either listening or watching us. And so let's talk about where we're going to be for Christmas.
Where are we right now, Dr. Cruz? Even though we're here podcasting, we're doing this a little bit early before we leave on our trip so that we can share with you where we are right now while you're watching this podcast.
Well, right now we are in
Puerto Rico.
That's right. That's exactly right. And so this has actually been something that I've been wanting to do for years. And I've been every year checking out the flights to Puerto Rico. Well, it turns out that going to Puerto Rico during the Christmas holiday is probably like the highest season of all, because the flights are
much more expensive.
Yes. Much more expensive. Almost like quadruple what you could get a flight for, like if you're just going to go, in the springtime for a spring break or in the summertime. It's just a hot time to, actually, it's just a high season. Everybody wants to go to Puerto Rico during the holidays because it's so much fun. Puerto Rico is so much fun, and it has been 2 decades. It's been about over 20 years since we went to Puerto Rico, and we actually went as part of our honeymoon when we got married.
Well, and why Puerto Rico, Dr. Cruz?
Well, let's talk about why. Because Puerto Rico so not only is it just such a great place to be during the holidays, but it's where my family is. My parents are Puerto Rican, and my mom was born on one side of the island, and my dad was born in another town in Puerto Rico. And we have a lot of family, especially on my dad's side. So we do have some family on my mom's side, a few relatives that are still there. But on my dad's side, because my dad was number 10 out of 19 children. 19 children.
Go grandma.
And if 19 wasn't enough, then my grandparents adopted a 20th. But the 19 children, she had every single one of them. No triplets, no twins. And they all were born nice and healthy. So yeah, grandma did a nice job on that. And my dad was number 10. So right in the middle. And so we have a lot of relatives. I mean, we do have relatives that live in New York and in Georgia and in Florida. But the grand majority of our relatives are in Puerto Rico. There are literally hundreds of cousins and aunties and uncles. And so we are going to go to visit that side of the family because my children have never met that side of the family.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah, we went there for our honeymoon, kind of. I mean, we had a honeymoon after that, but we took our family. We took my parents. Your mom went back. We stayed with your grandparents right after our wedding in 2005, and that's the last time we were there. Yeah. And we've been trying to get back ever since, but it's been hard with the flights.
Yes,
because we've got to bring 5 of us.
That's right.
It's expensive.
That's right. Yeah. So we're really excited. So in Puerto Rico, the real main holiday during Christmas holiday isn't actually Christmas. It's actually Three Kings Day. All right. It's Three Kings Day on January 6th. That is the big one that is celebrated. And the kids, like when the kids are in school, they actually get I think 3 weeks off because the big one that is celebrated is Three Kings Day. And so when I reached out to one of my cousins who does all the planning for the family parties, she told me, she was like, okay, well, you guys going to be here for Three Kings Day because that's the big celebration. And unfortunately, we are not going to be there.
Because the kids start school.
Because our kids don't get 3 weeks off. They get 2 weeks and they'll be back at school during that holiday. But we will be there for Christmas. And so there'll be a big family party on Christmas Eve day. Christmas Eve, actually in the evening, there'll be a big party. And then she also told me that New Year's Eve is a huge party. Mm-hmm. It's a huge party.
So there's a group of us going. We got about 12 of us going. Yes. And so Dr. Cruz told her cousin, hey, I'm bringing 12 people, we'll obviously pay you, to contribute to the food. And the cousin just laughed.
She did.
And tell everyone why she laughed.
Yeah, she just laughed because she's like, okay, well, that's like nothing. She goes, I just had a small party a few months ago and had about 150 people there. And that's a small party. That's a small party.
They have like the whole list of what family members make what. And
exactly.
They just make it in huge quantities. This family member makes rice and this family member makes the beans and,
Yeah, it's awesome. Very planned. I mean, my cousin, like Tina said, she has her team lined up for who brings what. She also has a family member that is in charge of the family tree and who has basically, been creating this family tree, with grandpa and grandma who are no longer with us. But, from their 19 children, their 20 children, and the tree continues to branch off. And every time a baby comes into the world, that baby is added in there and you have a number. So I've seen pictures from the Three Kings Day parties that they have. And in some of those pictures I've seen where the family is all wearing a t-shirt and they have their number on the t-shirt, so some of the pictures I've seen, you have like, family member number 242. So there's a lot of family members that come to these parties. And so, yes, my cousin is the family planner and has her team lined up. And so, yeah, when I asked her, let us contribute, she was like laughing at me. She's like, you guys just come to the party. Yeah. Well, and you guys are just going to come and we will just have a blast. So the other thing is that the Cruz family there in Puerto Rico is like a little nation. And, there's actually a street that belongs to the Cruz family. And through the years, and I remember growing up when we would go to Puerto Rico to visit, being on that street was just so much fun because all the houses all belonged to, the Cruz family. And there were, my grandmother had a sister who had a home there. And then a lot of my dad's siblings just bought homes or made their homes through the years, and obviously on that street, there's not enough room for all of the Cruz family, but that street belongs to the Cruz family. So my cousin told me that especially for New Year's Eve, that street, they close it off and they just do, I would assume it's like a huge block party and it's just all Cruz family.
So awesome.
Yeah. And there are a lot of musicians. The music is a huge thing in the Cruz family. Even within my own family growing up, my dad had a steel drum band. He played congas. He played guitar. Very, very musically talented family. And so a lot of my cousins, they have their own bands and they travel. One of my cousins, their band apparently from what I've heard was just touring here on the mainland here in the US. And so a lot of music. So with these parties, there is a lot of music.
Well, that was one of the main reasons why you wanted to go at Christmas time too, because of the parrandas.
Yes, the parrandas is a big thing. So the parrandas are a huge thing. I mean, growing up, even though I was born and grew up in LA, my dad continued with that tradition. And so parrandas are basically where you get a big group of people and you go from house to house visiting people and singing. And these parrandas take place at night and into the wee hours of the morning. And
think of it as like a progressive meal with music.
Yes. Yeah. Because every home that you go to, you're getting fed. I mean, usually the last home is supposed to be where they do a huge meal and you're eating like at 5 in the morning and you've been out all night parrandeando. So I'm very excited about the parrandas. That's something that I grew up with. And so it's like in my blood and it's something that I'm so excited about. And even our kids are very excited to do that. So yeah, so a lot of exciting things that we are looking forward to for this trip to Puerto Rico. And the kids are, well, The kids are excited. They're not excited that they're not going to see friends because we'll be gone for a couple weeks, but they're excited that we're going to be partying and that they'll be meeting a lot of family.
Why don't you just talk for a couple of minutes about some of the other things that we're going to do while we're there?
Yeah, while we're there. So our Airbnb is on one of the most beautiful beaches there in Puerto Rico called Luquillo. Luquillo is known for its beautiful, pristine beaches. And so our Airbnb is in Luquillo. And that's actually near the town where my mom was born and where her side of the family resides. So we'll also be checking out, going to where my mom was born, which to me is very exciting to show my children and my wife where my mother was born. But we're going to be doing a lot of beach time. There's also like one of the most beautiful and amazing rainforests there near Luquillo called El Yunque. And my grandmother on my mom's side actually used to work there. When we went there 20 years ago, my grandmother actually took us on a hike. So we're going to be doing some hiking in the Yunque. So there are, I believe, 7 bioluminescent bays in the world. I believe it's 7 or 8. And 3 of those bays are in Puerto Rico. So basically, there are these little organisms, these little microscopic, they call them dinoflagellates, that when they get touched, they emanate this amazing, beautiful fluorescent like blues and greens. And so you go to these bioluminescent bays, typically you kayak out and it's at nighttime. And so there's 3 of them in Puerto Rico. So one of the evenings, we're going to do a kayak trip out into one of the bioluminescent bays. And I'm so excited about that because all the trips that I've done to Puerto Rico growing up and everything, we never did that. So that's going to be a new experience for me also. We are also going to be taking some coastal drives. There'll be a couple days where we will explore the northern coast of Puerto Rico. And then another day where we'll go on the southern coast of Puerto Rico and just travel, stopping at the different towns and enjoying the foods and the views and some of the historic sites. So very excited about that. We will also be doing a foot walking tour in Old San Juan, which has a lot of the historical monuments, the old fortress, for back in the day when, you had the fortresses to protect Puerto Rico. So that's Old San Juan. And then there's a lot of areas in that area, like shopping and just, some beautiful, beautiful things to see. Let's see, we will be enjoying doing some snorkeling. And enjoying the beautiful undersea organisms, the reefs and the fish, and just doing that. We'll actually do a couple boat tours where we'll get some opportunity to do some snorkeling. And also there's an ATV tour that I'll be booking for us where we will be exploring the beautiful Puerto Rico. Okay. So just a lot of amazing stuff, but mostly a lot of beach time and just spending time together. Puerto Rico is very tropical and the weather is just gorgeous and tropical all year long. You could basically be in the beach all year long. I'm very excited to be doing this island tropical trip during the holidays, during the Christmas holiday.
Yes. So Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Hope you have a wonderful, magical Christmas week.
Sí. Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Y próspero año nuevo.
That's right. And we'll look forward to catching you on the next podcast.
Thank you for joining Dr. Liz Cruz and Tina Nunziato. To learn more about their revolutionary products and services, go online to www.drlizcruz.com.